welcome back to TGR, that's Gaming Robo. Now today guys, in this video, we're going to be showing you who are the best players to buy for when you're managing a lower league club here on Championship Manager 0102. Now in this video I will be showing you just 11 of the players, but I've picked out so many more of fantastic players that you could be buying to manage for your team if you're managing a lower league club. So with this video, in part 1, I'll show you the best players to buy. So without further ado guys, let's get cracking, let's get started. Let's show you the best 11 players I've picked from the many players I have bought over this time. Let's show you the best 11 players. Thomas Myhre. Now Thomas Myhre, he is a fantastic goalkeeper. As you can see, just shy of £1 million it takes to actually buy him. And his weekly wage is near enough roughly around £6,000 a week. But with Thomas Myhre, you gain so many more clean sheets for having him as your goalkeeper in your team. So let's see who I've picked as the next player of the best players to buy in the lower leagues. Mike Duff. Now with Mike Duff, when you do buy him from Cheltenham, when I did the Zero to Hero episodes, it didn't cost me that much at all, but when I've done other episodes, it was near enough £100,000 I had to pay to buy him. So you're looking between £26,000 to £100,000 to purchase Mike Duff, and his salary is quite cheap. To be fair with you, it's £2,500 a week. But Mike Duff, the best thing about him is, he gets better and better as each season goes by. So he's the reason why he's my second choice of the best players to buy in lower leagues. Now let's see who's my next player. Andy Williams. Now with Andy Williams, obviously at the start of the game, he's a free transfer, free agent. So in that sense, he is so cheap to buy. And I mean, with his weekly wage, you're looking at about £800 a week, which is really cheap once again as well. I mean, Andy Williams, obviously, he can continue to play for Wales as part of their national team. And you look at his statistics, it's really, really good, for a lower league club. I bought him for Torquay United in my Zero to Hero episodes. And he was in my starter lineup for a long, long time. So this is the reason why he's my third pick of my best players to buy for the lower leagues. Now let me show you who's my fourth. Sam Sojay. Now Sam Sojay is another really good player to have within your team, and the best thing about it is the fact that he can play not just centre back but as a right back too. Now with Sam Sojay, you are probably looking about £100,000 if you want to buy him outright at the start of the game, but in most cases he does have a non-promotion release clause. So if he does have that when you start the game, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper to have him on that release clause than it is to buy him outright at the start of the game. But his weekly wage is also going to be roughly around £2,000 a week. So once again, he can be another cheap player for your team, and once again, like Mike Duff, he can grow into such an important member for your defence. But Sam's number 4 in my best players to buy for the lower leagues. Let's show you who's number 5 and occupies the last place in my defence. Marco Lanna. Now Lanna, even though he's a free agent player at the start of the game, his wage structure, it does take a bit of a bashing if you do sign him. As you can see, he basically demands just over £13,000 a week. But at the same time, you get a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience if you do sign Marco Lanna. Now with that, obviously, he's the last person I've selected as part of my 4-man defensive unit. So let me show you who's my 6th player that I like to buy as part of my best players to buy for the lower leagues. Jean-Michel Ferri. Now with Jean-Michel, obviously he's got a brief stint playing for Liverpool, but more notably, obviously with him playing for Nantes as part of the French league. Now, obviously with Jean-Michel, He comes with 5 games of playing for the French national team. Even though once again he's another free agent, free transfer player, he's another player that does demand quite a high wage in just over £9,000. But once again, you look at the fact that with Jean-Michel, a bit like Lanna, the fact that he brings in so much knowledge, so much wealth within the team. You weigh up the pros and cons. Do you look at the short-term pain, long-term gain, or do you look at short-term gain but long-term pain? Either way, in my eyes, Jean-Michel is a fantastic player, and to be honest, one of the main guys I would have as part of my defensive midfield unit, especially for lower league clubs. But Jean-Michel, he is my 6th player as part of my best players to buy for lower leagues. Let me show you who's my 7th. Justin Walker. Now, a few of you will know Justin Walker. He is a fantastic player to buy on this game, especially if you're playing for a lower league club. In today's sort of game football, you would look at him as a box-to-box midfielder. And even though it would probably cost you, it would cost you roughly around £300,000 to actually buy him. And his wage structure is looking around £5,000 as well. If you start a new game, you look at his contract clauses. In most cases, he has either a non-promotion release clause or a relegation release clause. And throughout the games that I've started so many times, I've made note of it every single time. It's bounced between 100,000 to 150,000 for both clauses. So it's always worthwhile having a look at that. And if he does have it, you weigh up the pros and cons, whether or not if you buy him outright at the beginning of the game, or you take a gamble and wait to the end of the season. But once again, Justin Walker, he is a fantastic player. One person that I highly recommend to have as part of your midfield general. Now, Justin is the 7th player on my list. Let me show you who's in at number 8. Alfred Phil. Now, Alfred, if you had seen it on my Zero to Hero Torquay United season review, I got Alfred Phil once again as a free agent. Wages demands is £9,250 a week, but I held on to him for a few seasons, and I managed to sell him in the 3rd season for £1 million. And he is so good to have within your team. Okay, you have to go through the work permit issues. If you guys are struggling with work permit issues, please go on my channel and have a look at Work Permit Hack. It works 100% of the time. Just follow the simple steps. It's really easy to follow. But going back to Alfred Phil, he's one of these guys that consistently performs, and he consistently gives you assists and stability within your team. Now, Alfred, he's my 8th signing that I like to use as part of the best players to buy for lower leagues. Let me show you who's coming at number 9. Chris Brandon. I know what you're going to say. Torquay United player, and I support Torquay United. But Chris Brandon, he is a brilliant player. If you look through my Zero to Hero episodes with Torquay United, you'll notice that he bags so many goals and just as many assists for the seasons. Now, it's not just happened in the 1st season review, it's also happened in the 2nd and the 3rd as well. Number 2 and number 3 will be coming out shortly, so make sure you do keep your eyes peeled for that. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know exactly when them videos are out on my channel. But going back to Chris Brandon, his wage demand is so little. To buy him is so little because he plays for Torquay United. I know his stats don't really look good, but I promise you, Chris Brandon, he is a fantastic attacking midfielder to have. He can play on the right, but I found generically he works better going through the middle of the attacking midfield role. But Chris is my 9th player that I like to have as part of my best players to buy for lower leagues. Let me show you who's my number 10th one. Daniel Nardiello. Daniel Nardiello, obviously, is an old Manchester United youth prospect. Free transfer, free agent, whichever way you want to look at it, still the same thing. and his wage demand's £425 a week. He's so cheap. Once again, he's another player that I bought as part of my Torquay United Zero to Hero season reviews. Now, this guy, he can bag you easily 15 plus goals a season. He works well on his own as a lone striker, or works well as part of a two-man strike force, or even a three-man strike force. And with Daniel Nardiello being the age of 18 when you start the game, he is one of these players that you will be able to have within your team for a very long time. Now, Daniel is my 10th player on this list. Let me show you the last player, the 11th player on my list for the best players to buy for the lower leagues. To Madeira. Straight away, everyone knows who Team Madeira is. It takes around £200,000 to actually buy to Madeira from Gouveia, and also you're looking around £1,500 a week as a weekly wage for him as well. But without going into too much details, without telling you guys how to suck eggs, to Madeira is one of the best strikers on this game. We all seen my top 10 best strikers to buy on this video, but everyone knows who Team Madeira really is, and everyone knows that he was created as one of the best strikers on the game. But for Team Madeira playing in the lower leagues, he, in my Torquay United's Zero to Hero season review, he bagged 20, 30, 40 goals for me in that season. And at the end of the first season, Tottenham Hotspurs bought him off me for £1 million straight off the bat. But when you do buy him, make sure you go through his contract clauses. Make sure that you look at the minimum fee release clause. If you can bump it up, brilliant. If you can get rid of it, even better. But he will go during or maybe at the end of the season, in the first season, if you buy him for your lower league club. So guys, there you have it. Like I said, it's only 11 players that I've put on here, but I'll do other videos and I'll expand it, a little bit more, so you guys can see the majority of the players that I've selected that I think is really good players to buy for lower league clubs. But as you can see on the side of the page here, you can see that all in all, with the players that I've selected, you're looking at about £1.6 million of net spend on this game, as well as literally just shy of £51,000 a week in weekly wages. With that front, obviously, that's going to take a hell of a beating when it comes to your wage structure. So it's something you do need to look at, of course. But at the same time, you look at some of those players. Those players will be able to bring you some silverware. I mean, if you haven't seen Zero to Hero 2001-2002 season review, give it a watch. You'll see the team that I had, and I'll tell you what, it is an absolutely amazing team. And hopefully, when season 2 and season 3 comes out onto the channel, hopefully it gets even better. You will see, of course. But if you do like the video, guys, please smash a like on the video. If you feel that there is someone else that you think, if you bought in the past, you think that works really well for a lower league club, please leave a comment below. I'd love to know other people that you think that could be a really good player for lower league clubs as well. And of course, if you haven't done so already, guys, please smash a like on the video, and please make sure you do share it out to all of your friends and family if they do obviously like and enjoy Championship Manager 0102. But apart from that, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Like I said, subscribe to our channel, make sure you smash a like and leave a comment below. But more importantly, guys, make sure you all stay safe.